What is up, everybody? This is Lyle, No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. I am coming at you from just outside the Millennium Building at the Springfield Terminal. Have a load that's coming in later tonight or early tomorrow, going to basically Kansas City. Myra's got a load picking up here. Well, the load just got to the yard. That's going to Los Lunas. And the new driver, Jan, took a load out to Denver. And then found out that the APU, the heat's not working in that, so he's probably going to try to grab a load and come back out to Springfield rather than waiting for Thermo King out there to hook it up. So anyway, want to thank everybody that took the time to stop by and say what's up while I'm out here. That's always appreciated. Had a couple good conversations. Spoke with the driver that's about to upgrade into his own truck. He's going through that process now, and asked if I had any tips or anything like that for the upgrade process. And you know, we spoke about a few things, but a couple things I want to talk about that I think some people miss. One of them's important, one of them not so important, but I think that it's definitely something that I like to do. So let's get into that. So two things that I would suggest everybody doing that is getting their first load off the yard, or if they're leaving the yard empty. It kind of depends on what the situation is. Two things you want to do is calibrate your truck gauge, and then second, what I like to do, and this was a tip that an old driver gave me, was get a weight on your truck, an empty weight, full of fuel, so full of truck, reefer, and def with the trailer, and then get that weight on your truck, and then subtract that weight from 80,000 pounds, and that gives you what your max carry weight is. And then, you know, if you get that done at a CAT scale, save that ticket. I've had a couple shippers that actually asked, no, I haven't. I had one shipper that asked me for that to get loaded, and then the other shipper just asked me how much I could carry, and I gave him 2,000 pounds less than what my max would be, just to be safe. But if you're coming off the yard empty, you know, get on that scale on the way out and get that empty weight. And if you're coming off the yard full, hopefully the load's heavier. The heavier the load, the easier it is to calibrate that in-cab gauge. But dial that in before you go out on your first load. I do know somebody a while back that asked me about that, asked me how to calibrate their gauge, because they didn't even know that they had to. Basically, all that you're going to do is once you scale, whether that's at a terminal, CAT scale, or whatever, you're going to take the weight that you have on your truck tandems, and then you're just going to take a screwdriver, a knife, or whatever, and then dial in your gauge to whatever that number is on your gauge, and that's going to calibrate that. So you definitely want to make sure that that's calibrated. I've really only scaled at an actual CAT scale maybe about 5 times the entire time I've been at Prime. And one was because I had to, and the other one, the load was pretty heavy. I think I might have been carrying like 44,500 pounds. So I did scale that. Typically, if the weight's going to be around 40, 41, and even if the trailer gauge isn't correct, which this one wasn't, all I do is slide my tandems, get the max weight on my front. If my front is at 34,000 pounds, my back has to be right, unless the bills are off. So that's how I get around scaling if the trailer gauge either isn't working or it's not calibrated. But that is really all I want to talk about today, since it was at the top of my mind. I did have a chance to sit in on this Friday morning meeting, and since I wasn't there, I wasn't able to rewind and do all that stuff and kind of, you know, pay as much attention as I do when I'm watching the video. But I did take a couple things from that meeting today, so I'll probably get to that video either later today or tomorrow. But as always, I appreciate you stopping by No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.